Well. And welcome to the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast, number 25, live and recorded from the Go Spurs Go Memes Network studio. I am your host, Ray. Today, joined in studio, I have Sean, Buddy, and Frank. Gentlemen, hope you guys have had a wonderful week. What's going on in the world of the NBA and the Spurs? Of course, we've started the Spurscation. It is All-Star weekend, All-Star break, and so we have no Spurs games for about a week.
Boo.
We can all sleep.
There were a couple games before that we had the last podcast.
Yeah, we did have a couple of games to talk about, but man, to have to go all the way till next Thursday with no Spurs games, kind of disappointing.
Yeah, no.
And then plus, too, I don't really get into All-Star Weekend. I just kind of feel it's like...
Same here.
Ugh.
I'm only interested in one thing.
What?
Three-point contest. That's it.
Yeah, I am kind of interested to see how that goes, but I probably won't watch it. I'll wait till like somebody...
Well, there's they'll do replays upon replays.
I'll wait for the Vine that goes up on social media, and then I'll check it out there, and then I'll steal it and meme it.
Yeah, can you believe he bounced it off his head?
Yeah.
That's what I hear all.
Supposedly, I'm kind of interested because Zach LaVine's doing the dunk contest again. He won last year. Interested to see what he's do this year. They asked the rookie, what is his name, Karl Anthony Towns, and he was saying like LaVine is just on another level, and he goes, I've seen what he's going to plan to do. He's like, get your popcorn ready. No. So I'm just kind of like, but I'm like,
what does
we've
it mean?
seen so much.
What's left?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, what are you
going to jump over this time?
Exactly.
Jump over some midgets or something like that?
I don't know.
Really?
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see like midget wrestlers be out there on the court and then he just freaking slams over them.
That's what I need.
Who wouldn't? A bunch of Kevins out there running around. Sign me up.
Kevin.
What the hell is Kevin?
Yeah. I've known two midgets. Both of them were named Kevin. I'm just going with the odds.
Here we go.
What?
Anyways, all right. So let's see what's going on. There's tons of news going on. We got a trade deadline coming up next week. But there's a lot of like interesting stories that are kind of going on. Let's jump into the news and then we'll kind of bring up all these different little stories and things that are going on. So Houston is actively looking to trade Dwight Howard right now. They're looking at all sorts of offers. My favorite thing about this is that nobody wants him. 0% interest.
Oh, that's a shocker.
In Dwight Howard. So I'm pretty positive that Houston's probably going to end up getting screwed like they normally do when it comes to free agency. And Dwight is going to opt out of his contract at the end of the year. And supposedly, I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I heard that he really wants to go play in Brooklyn for some reason. So we'll actually see if that happens and see if Brooklyn actually wants him.
The league's changed. It's no longer a big man's game.
It really isn't.
I mean, back then, they used to have one center that was, 7 foot or above. Now you don't have it. So
and it's sad, too, because like he's an 8-time All-Star, and he just kind of faded away. But we've talked about Dwight Howard repeatedly on the podcast.
It's a faster game. It's
well, not just
him.
that, but, we kind of talked about how he had Kevin McHale, he had Yao Ming, he had Patrick Ewing as well, kind of like coaching him to kind of show him how to be an awesome big man. And Howard just really sucks. I don't know how else to put it.
You know what would be? I just thought of this right now. The worst landing spot for him would maybe be Phoenix. With the trash fire that's going on right there, like if they really hate Dwight Howard, trade him to Phoenix.
Exactly. Well, here's another thing. So that's going to segue me into my next part of the news. So Markieff Morris got into an altercation with a teammate, and then later that same evening he got into it with a Suns fan. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, Phoenix is going to get rid of him by Thursday.
You think?
Yeah, they have to get rid of him. I don't see why they would keep him on board. I just don't know who would want him.
I mean, with the attitude issue, I just don't understand why anybody would want him at this point.
Now
they
that you
traded
said it,
his
Sean,
brother.
Now that you said it,
you like that, don't you?
I kind of like. I could totally see Morris in Houston, and Houston sending Dwight Howard to Phoenix. But of course, I think Phoenix would have to send more than Markieff Morris.
Yeah, conditional second round next year.
But I mean, it's not like they have quality players, anyways.
I would like to point out you heard it here first.
Okay, so I've been playing with this thing here.
Well, wait. Are you doing a trade thing?
No, I'm going to do this one for Howard. So let's.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's keep talking about Howard while you're doing it.
So, okay.
No,
I'm doing it right now. So, okay, Howard makes $22,359 a year, right? Let's assume.
Why would you pay him that?
And this is the part. I mean, you have to figure out how exactly do you get rid of him. So let's say you send what's his face? Where is he?
Morris.
Morris, who makes $8 million a year.
Okay.
You still need to send somebody who's going to be at $10 million.
So not necessarily. What is Phoenix's cap at right now?
Cap at right now? Well, okay, if they don't send Morris?
Yeah, what is their cap right now if with Markieff Morris on roster, what is their cap?
Right now, their cap room, they have $4 million in cap right now. They're under 10. They're under 10 under the luxury tax. Houston is minus 18 on the cap room, but they're $3 million over on the luxury tax, which is Weird.
Yeah. So basically, you have your cap. You can go over the cap, but once you hit a certain amount, that puts you into the luxury tax, and that's how that whole works out.
So they would have to give somebody else up in order to do
Well-
that. But they could give up Chandler and him, and that would actually work.
No, see, there you go.
Boom.
Oh
Exactly.
God, that'd be just
Chandler comes back to Texas.
funny.
Welcome back, Carter.
This is the funnest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, we're going to mess with that a whole lot later because later on in the podcast, we're going to talk trades.
Yes.
Sean has a cool little bit for us.
I'm looking forward to it.
And there's so much news coming out tonight. We'll just mention it a bit later. Anyways, back to the news. Hassan Whiteside has received a 1-game suspension for the elbow to Boban the other night. As we all know, watching the Miami game, I guess if somebody was shooting for a free throw, Boban was close, and Whiteside just kind of turned around and just completely elbowed him. He got a flagrant 2 and was thrown out of the game. So I'm kind of happy to see that he's going to be suspended for that. So he's suspension without pay.
Did you see the hilarious thing that happened afterwards?
No, what?
They didn't let him talk to the media afterwards. They sent him home as soon as that happened. Like, usually they'll let them stay and let them do the media time after that. They told Whiteside, no, you're not talking to anybody, get out.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Let's see. So a big rumor, big news that came out this week is that back in 2007, the Lakers actually offered Cleveland Kobe Bryant in a straight-up trade for LeBron James. What do you guys think about that?
That's hilarious.
That would have been really interesting.
I don't see in any world why Cleveland would have taken that trade.
No, especially with all the prep and hype that was coming out of Akron at the time. LeBron being the second coming. I mean, hell, they were having his basketball games on ESPN2 televised. I mean, you don't even ever see high school basketball games on ever.
I mean,
Yeah, but when did James come out? That's 2007.
2007.
So he did come out in 2007?
I think it was
No,
brand
no,
new.
No, he
came out
was way
2000
down before that.
2001.
2004.
2000. Yeah.
No, it was
Okay.
2000.
Wait. No. I was in college at the time, actually in Ohio, so that had to have been before 2003.
I just don't remember. I don't think it was 2007. I think he was already playing for a while.
Yeah, I would say 2004. He was in. 2004,
Well, I mean, it says here that the
There's
Lakers
someone
tried to-
screaming at us right
2003, because he's 2 years younger than me and we share the same birthday.
He was 22 at this time.
No, he's just-
okay, check this
I
out.
know.
At this time, in this year, he was 22 years old, and he had just come off his first finals appearance. So after we had beat them, right? So and it was Lakers who were actually trying to instigate this, not Cleveland. So my guess
Yeah.
is that maybe it was just the Lakers who were just trying to pull this cord, and the Cleveland just
Of
told
course
them,
they
"Yeah,
were. It's the Lakers. They're shady.
Yeah,
That's why we don't like the Lakers. Anyways, so the Grizzlies announced that they will, well, they didn't announce, but it's been revealed that they will actually go after Durant big time this summer, as will every other NBA team with cap space. The Grizzlies are going to try to push to Durant a new big 3 that involves Gasol and Conley, which is kind of messed up because Gasol has a broken foot and he's going to be out for a while now.
What about Zebo?
Yeah, just left them out of that.
We don't bring him up. Phil Jackson has an opt-out in his contract with the Knicks in 2017. I find that very interesting.
He's such a piece of crap.
Yeah, and then in sad news, of course, the other night, Ingrid Williams, the wife of former Spur and New Orleans head coach Monty Williams, passed away. She was involved in a car accident where she was hit head on. And I don't know if you guys saw
That that shook the entire
everybody.
NBA, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw Pop after I think it was during the Orlando game. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the game, they kind of asked him about it or whatever, and he just kind of just looked completely distraught with it. So it did have a big
He didn't do
effect on everybody.
He didn't do the pregame interviews at all. They had actually said that he wasn't going to coach the game, and then he changed his mind, I guess, for whatever reason. So.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Let's see, what else is going on? Sacramento decided not to fire George Karl. Like Divac told Karl that they have lots of problems, but they're going to improve on them together. Okay, when does Sacramento finally wake up and say, you know what, Vlade, you're out? Because that's what I'm waiting for to happen, because he's just done absolutely nothing with that team.
No, it's the Iron Front. They got nothing but Eastern Europeans in that front office. They do.
You leave Peja out of this, Sean.
Where's Hito Turkoglu right
Where are
now?
all the vowels in your name?
Anyways.
Why all the K's have accent marks?
Hey,
Oh, what? Yako?
let's see. The Clippers have suspended Blake Griffin for 4 games. Of course, this is to the incident where he punched a staffer. So they actually did it before the NBA actually did something about it. Jimmy Butler is going to be out. First, they thought 3 to 4 weeks. Now they say he might be out a couple months with his injured knee.
Huge loss.
So
Yes.
because of that, he, of course, won't be playing in the All-Star game. His teammate Paul Gasol will actually take his spot on the East squad. The Pacers may try to deal George Hill to Atlanta in turn for Jeff Teague.
That's an interesting one.
Who wins that deal?
I would have to say that Indiana in that one because, I mean, I like Jeff Teague. I really like
I
Jeff
do
Teague.
like Teague as well.
I think he's a better point guard than Hill is. Hill is a scorer.
He's a scorer
He's
guard.
not great point guard. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for somebody who's organizing your team per se, then I would say that Teague is the better option.
That's a decent trade though for both teams, depending on what their needs are.
I don't think that does anything for Atlanta, though. That's just my opinion. I think
I'm just
Atlanta has
curious as
so
to
many more
why.
problems.
Why
Yeah.
is Atlanta trying to get rid of Teague? I mean, is it
Well,
a contract issue?
they're not just
or-
trying to get rid of Teague. They're trying to get rid of Teague, Schroeder, and Horford as well.
But why Schroeder and Teague?
Well, Horford, I know for sure it's because he can opt out this summer.
Right. Well, that makes
and
sense.
so that makes sense there. But I'm not too sure about Schroeder and Teague. I think it might just be bait to improve their roster.
Man, but I mean, you just have to get a point then at that point, and then George Hill would only be the logical choice. Then at that point.
Yeah. Let's see what else. The Cavaliers are interested in multiple players, including Omar Asik, Kyle Korver, and Tyreek Evans. This was, of course, before Tyreek
Evans out for the
Evans
year.
is out for the year.
So they're not in for Evans.
No, we're not
Yeah,
going to do
not
that.
some more.
Unless they need somebody to ride the bench.
I already mentioned that Gasol's first. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about the Marc Gasol thing. So first they announced he had a midfoot sprain.
Right.
Going to be out a couple games. Then literally like maybe 10 minutes later they come out and said, "Nah, foot's broken. He's going to be out indefinitely."
Like, really?
I wonder if it was like they had an X-ray of the guy before, and they're like, "Hey, it doesn't look that bad." They go, "That's not his." Oh, guys, go back out there. Tell him it's broken.
I don't know. Anyways,
I would like to think that everybody knows what they're doing, and I don't think everybody does.
yeah, and
The older I get, the more I realize.
Warriors center Festus Ezeli is expected to return to action in about 6 weeks after having left knee surgery. Okay, so let's kind of talk about all the other crazier stuff that we've been hearing all week long. I kind of don't know where to start, buddy. What do you want to start with? I'll let you pick.
Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about. Let's see. I will pick. I don't know. I want to start. I sort of want to talk about the trade things more than anything.
Okay.
But I think we're going to save that for the next thing. I'll leave it to Frank. How about Frank?
Frank, do you want to pick
Oh,
something?
this is going to be
Oh,
murder.
what are we talking about?
There we go.
Sean.
We're done. I want to talk about Chris Bosh being out of the All-Star game.
Yes.
Go for it.
Getting replaced. Buddy, you were talking about it earlier.
C.J. McCollum. Well, he's a
Yes.
McCollum. No, sorry. He's replacing him in the three-point contest.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
in
but,
the All-Star game, he is being replaced by...
I forgot who
Oh,
it
Horford,
was.
wasn't it?
No.
No, it's not. Oh, wait a minute. It might be Horford. I actually think
No,
you're right.
it's-
No, I actually think Sean's
it's,
right. I'm pretty sure it is Horford.
Oh, my God. I'm going to be banging
And for the
myself.
3.
I-
No, but I mean,
But you know what? I didn't hear why Bosch was out. Did he get hurt?
Knee,
Or-
ankle
ankle.
sprain.
Ah, okay.
Ankle sprain is what you're saying. No. Calf sprain. That's what it was.
It's kind of messed up that it's so many people. Oh, and then what'd you call it? What's his name from Washington is out as well with the injured knee. He's not going to. Was
Wall?
it Wall?
it has to be either Wall or nobody.
Oh, no, it is Horford. He's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, I'm
wow.
telling you, he was right.
Good job, Sean.
I do listen.
Sometimes.
Yeah, most of the time I try. No, I mean, it's going to be, it's a game of no consequence. There's nothing gained. If you're in Vegas, you always bet the over, even when the over is 250 points. But I mean, it's an All-Star game. Everybody's saying that Kobe's going to win the MVP. In fact, they're even telling
Oh, they're gonna
Melo.
complete- yeah, everyone's just
Melo's
gonna
even
push
said,
up
"Hey guys, this
Kobe."
is Kobe's." But if you remember Jordan's last All-Star game, they kept him in. He kept him in. He missed. I think it was one of his first 9 shots, but they kept him in. If the East would have won, he would have won MVP. But there was a problem. Kevin Garnett was on the West, and he really wanted it. And I think he was the only one really playing, and the West won. And I was like, "Ooh, I wonder who on the East is going to ruin it for Kobe."
You know what? You know what we haven't talked about is Derek Fisher's firing in New York.
Oh, yeah. That's
I don't know why we didn't bring that up.
That's a very good one.
But they're getting the triangle, Ray.
I don't think they're getting.
They're going
crap.
back to the octagon, sir.
Jesus. Okay, so of course, Knicks fire him.
Right.
So all the names are coming up: Thibodeau,
Walton.
Brian Shaw, Luke Walton, everything. Luke Walton has already said he's not going anywhere.
I wouldn't.
He's
I
not going
wouldn't
to leave
blame
Golden
him.
State. But I actually feel that this summer he's going to have his choice of either going to New York or even taking the Lakers because I think they're going to end up firing Byron Scott.
Well, the other thing you got to consider: when's if Kerr can't come back at all? Like, when's if it's a reoccurring back injury? He would have the reins to the number 1 team in the league.
No, that's
And
very true.
Why would you want to leave that?
And I called the Tom Thibodeau Knicks stuff a bunch of BS.
Oh, it's total crap.
and the only reason I do that is because Jackson wants somebody that he's really good friends with. He's not friends with Thibodeau.
You're
So-
not my friend. Get out.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen at all. Let's see what else. Tony Parker decided he's going to play with France.
Even though his wife is pregnant.
Yeah, so he'll be playing with
Again?
Team France.
Yeah, they're gonna have another
they're
kid-
gonna have a
another
kid.
boy,
Did you not
apparently.
know that? Come
Sacre
on.
bleu.
So
He's a busy many kids.
Oh,
if
hey,
there is
look, I got an
possible.
interesting subject.
What?
Did you hear about this article about this guy named Tom Haberstroh? He wrote this article about that they think that they should actually shorten the season because of the fact that
I saw that too, 'cause
They're
of so
worried
many
about
injuries.
injuries and things like that going forward because of the fact that they think that they're running the players down too quickly. So they're saying that maybe they should shorten the season because they keep the injuries down and all of this stuff.
We're talking to you, Fred Hoiberg. How dare you almost kill Jimmy Butler? What is, I think Butler averages like 40 minutes a game.
Somebody mentioned Bosch, for instance, right? Because remember he got the blood clots last year and stuff like that.
yeah.
I mean,
True.
I'm okay with a 70-game season. I mean,
I don't know.
No, I think 82 games
is just
fine.
right. I think it's
I
just
don't
right
know.
myself. I mean, you have an all-star break in the middle of it. They're making insane money. I mean, I just don't understand. Get them a better chat. Get them a better something where they can sleep better. Make sure that they don't go out as much as they need to. You know, I think that
They're professional athletes that get paid $1 million to play a game of basketball. They'll be fine.
well, I mean, I would think so.
That's just my
We would
whole
think
look.
so.
Will they be fine though?
I think they'll be fine.
Because I do remember one of the first podcasts we had about people going bankrupt after their careers.
Well,
Very
we didn't say
true.
after the game. We were saying during the
Why you got to keep bringing up old shit, Frank? Oh, you know what I did want to talk about was Hack-a-Shack.
Oh,
So Adam Silver kind of came out and said because everybody's using Hack-a-Shack, they kind of want to make it illegal in the NBA that you won't be able to do that anymore. You know, to me, that's a bunch of BS. If you can't hit your free throws, your opponent should be able to abuse you as much as they want to.
Well, they're talking about the product of the game. I mean, when it slows down, people get bored with it and people get upset. I mean, how many times do you want to see the game just stop?
But it only
And-
happens in a handful of teams.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody does it. It happens a handful of times.
You realize that that's why they named it a certain thing. It's called Hack-a-Shack because it was only Shaq that they were doing
Well,
it to
yeah,
at first.
exactly, because he couldn't hit free throws and because they couldn't stop him because he was a freaking...
Did anybody? Okay, the stat for this. Okay, check this out. The stat for this is that there's 3 of the worst
I
free
know
throw
what you're
shooters in the. Yes, check this out. It's hilarious. 3 of the worst free throw shooters in the league. This Hack-a-Shack thing is only employed 80% of the time with these 3 guys.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if you're making the rule change because of 3 guys who can't shoot free throws.
Do you have the names?
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah,
DeAndre Jordan
exactly,
has to be
definitely.
there.
Who's the? Okay, let's see. Who's the second one?
Dwight Howard, maybe?
No.
No?
Ironically
Really?
enough, I
Really?
know he got better actually.
Wow.
He's above 50%. Ironically enough. Who else? Come on,
That's
come
still
on.
not good.
He's a center.
Cantor.
Eastern Conference.
it's not one of the Lopez boys, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, they're actually
No,
80%.
they're actually pretty
80%.
good.
They're 80% actually.
Whiteside?
Nope.
Nope.
Drummond.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And
that
then the
makes
third
sense.
one, Western Conference, power forward.
I don't know. Who?
You would think Howard.
Car-
Come on,
Garnett.
Sean Carmelone.
Clint Capella.
Moses Malone.
Capella. Oh, yeah. Okay, he's a horrible
He's
player.
actually the worst. He's like at 20-something% actually.
Oh, bless his heart.
Makes sense. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap up the news. We'll be back in a bit. All right, gentlemen, it's time to talk Spurs. So we had a couple of games this past week. We got a Lakers game, the Heat game, and then the Magic game. Let's start off with the Lakers game. I don't know what was going on over there. I just saw Frank pick up a mouse and lick it. So I don't know what's going on.
Not a
there.
real mouse.
Anyways,
I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
okay, so the Laker game. We probably should have lost that game.
Yeah.
That was a mess and a half. Sean, tell us a little bit about the stats, man. That was just a poor performance by the Spurs.
Well, in the first quarter, we did real well. We had a 9-point lead. That eventually went away. Heading into the fourth, we're actually down by 2. We ended up winning by 4, which helps. It was Kobe's last game in San Antonio. They did a very nice tribute right in the beginning. And if you haven't watched it, actually watch it. It's a decent tribute.
It's class is what it is.
Is what it
Yes,
is.
it was. I
Something
mean, I
the
don't
rest of
even
the league
think.
can
How many
learn.
teams have done this for him?
All of them.
Yeah, a lot of them
them
are
have.
on that.
have?
Yes.
I was
But this
wondering
was
about
the
this.
best easily. But anyways, he ended up with 25 for the night. He shot 9 of 28, which is not good. That's a little less than.
Didn't he have like a really bad fourth quarter?
Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did have a bad fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Your boy Russell, he ended up with 12 points for that night. Pretty impressive for
Dude,
the rookie.
he was killing me, man.
He did real well. He was 2 of 4 from 3. He played really well. Kobe actually shot from 3, 4 of 14.
No, but there was a point in the third quarter where he made like
He was
three,
like
he
three
made
in a
straight.
row,
I was like,
yeah.
oh my god.
He just, yeah, that was it.
So speaking of the Lakers, I just kind of want to bring up this whole thing about Byron Scott and his issues with Clarkson and D'Angelo Russell. So for some reason, Scott feels that he needs to be really hard on these guys. and he'll actually pull them from the game if he feels that either one of them is trying to take the game over.
Well, you can see
And I'm
Russell.
like,
You can see
what-
Russell
why-
trying to do that every so often, though.
And
I mean,
he
like
can.
Russell.
Like, why not? I just don't get it. And
I agree with you. If you have the talent and they're young,
the
why don't you
kid
give
has
them
so
the
much
chance to
talent.
show?
Why would you cut him down?
I don't see Clarkson doing that. That's sort of stupid. I mean, Clarkson doesn't do that. I mean,
No.
I can see Russell doing that. I never see Clarkson do that.
It's against both of them.
Actually,
Yeah.
Clarkson had a really good game that night. He was
Yeah.
9 of 14, 21 points.
Yep.
He played well. He played
Yeah,
very
and
well.
then like this evening in the rookie game, Clarkson and Russell did really, really well,
Yep.
and they kept them in the game. And a lot of Lakers fans were making a comment like, "This would have never happened if Byron Scott was the coach. He would have pulled them already."
Put Larry Drew in there.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's just absolutely nuts. And I do like D'Angelo Russell. I think the kid has a lot of talent, but I think he's under the wrong team. That's just me.
Absolutely agree. On the other side of that game, we have the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard definitely got to the stripe that night. He was 12 of 15. That's actually fantastic. 0 for 3 on the three-point line, which is not good, and his regular shots were 4 of 13. Not great. He was the second leading scorer on the Spurs. LaMarcus had 26 that night with 9 rebounds. I mean,
LaMarcus like pretty much dominated that game.
actually, Kawhi had 13 rebounds. Even though he wasn't shooting well, he still gets involved, which, you know.
And Patty had a good game off the bench as well, throwing in 13 points. So
Yeah, he had a good game. Very good game.
really good.
Danny had a good 3-point night too. He made 2 of the threes within the fourth quarter. He made really timely threes that we needed like badly. And every time I want to punch him in the face, he tends to make a three.
I was going to say, he's been much more hot than he has been icy recently.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of positive thing.
Wait till the playoffs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
very true. I'm just.
Frank.
God.
What? No, but Frank's right though. I mean,
No,
he
I
really
know.
has had a shitty couple of games in a row, and so I don't think it's wrong for us to call him out on it.
It depends on what he does, though. Like I've noticed that, like if he's shooting threes and like he's in place and stuff like that, you get like maybe a 60 to 40% chance that he's going to make it, right?
Yeah.
But if he drives the ball.
Yes.
Sweet Jesus,
Yes.
that guy loses it every time, it seems
I'd
like.
rather him stay out on the 3-point line.
stay there.
And just shoot 100 times.
And that's why I want Simmons to ultimately come around. Because if he can shoot the three, the guy can drive too.
Yeah.
So to me, he's much more useful to them.
Very, very true. Okay,
Sorry.
done with the Lakers. Let's go to the Heat, which was a great game.
That was lovely.
I got that up if you want.
Yeah,
me to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, early in the game, down by 4. By half, we were actually up by 7, and that's pretty much where we left off.
And that was another game where we started off really slow. Like it looked like it was going to be really good, and then it just kind of we just couldn't
imploded.
freaking hit anything.
Well, the Spurs are like an old Chevy. You got to take a little time to warm up, but once you're there, it'll probably get you home. Just saying.
You want to hear a funny stat that I heard? Go for it.
yes, please do.
So the Heat lost this game, and they shot 57% in this game, right?
Yep.
This is actually the worst loss ever in NBA history from a team that shot over 57% in a game.
That's awesome.
That is the greatest thing ever. So, if anybody's looking at the stats on this, right? Is anybody who's looking at the stats?
I got it up.
Either Sean has it up.
Go ahead, Sean.
The worst, the main reason they lost, even though they shot 57%, is because they had 17 turnovers, so the Spurs 10.
Well, yeah, that's a big one. They also had only 1 offensive rebound, and we had 11 of them, which is the best thing ever because we had way more second chance points than they did. So that actually helped a lot too. We also shot 19 more shots than they did, which that equates usually to a bad thing because we shot 52% in the game.
I just can't. I just have to throw in there. I'm so pleased with Aldridge how his game is. He's just more comfortable. He's getting better. He's being more aggressive. You really see it when he's out there and playing.
Did we all watch this game, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were just. There was a point in the third quarter and the fourth
they were
where
having their way.
they were clicking.
Yep.
They were clicking beautifully. It was just amazing to watch.
When you see an alley-oop
Yes,
from the Spurs,
yes, that's exactly.
you mark the calendars because it never happens.
It was like the 5th one of the year or something like that.
I think the last one happened was a Terry Cummings to Willie Anderson throw. If I'm not mistaken.
But think about this right now. All these wins right here. One thing I'm noticing about these games is that they're not really. They're driving. They're getting points in the paint now. What more you're seeing is Aldridge being one of the main factors of this offense here.
Yep.
And think about this. No Duncan, no Ginobili. We're seeing the future right now. When it comes
When
down
will
to,
then be now?
Exactly. But the thing is, it should give you every bit of confidence of the longevity of this team to be a contender each year now.
Well, and the other thing I noticed, the Spurs haven't had a mid-range jump shooter honestly, probably since Robinson, when he used to shoot that little 15-footer right outside the free throw line.
Yep.
I mean, can you name another Spur that had a good mid-range jumper besides Aldridge?
Consistently?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's... And I think...
Jerry Cummings.
Dude, enough about TC.
How about TC already?
No, but I think they just have to somehow meld it into their offensive scheme, this mid-range jumper, which you look at when we won the championships, it was all driving with the point guards and shooting guards
kick
and
out.
then kick out for threes. And that's how we won. I mean, that was our offense since, Horry left.
It goes back to the thing where we were talking about, like, as far as, like, which game do we want to play?
Right.
Are we always falling into the trap of trying to play somebody else's game, or are we always forcing the conversation the way we want it to go?
Right.
I mean, we don't have to play the Warriors game, for instance. We always think about that, for instance. We don't have to play that game to win. But the problem is that you get caught up in it because they force you into it.
They force
because
you right
they're
into
so
it.
damn good at doing it, And so that's something that you really, really think about. So that brings us into the Magic game, which is the next game. So we barely win this game. 98. Yeah. They almost pulled some magic in this game. Let me tell you.
No
It was
kidding. I mean,
played
we
well.
had a great lead, and then Orlando
Man.
came back, took the lead. Then we didn't get it back. We didn't get so we had the lead until halftime,
And then they fall apart.
and then the third quarter was absolutely horrible. And then the Spurs got the lead back, and then they didn't look back after that.
It was in the fourth quarter.
But
They
it was
went
like the last,
completely-
they
went
minute.
completely cold. Orlando couldn't make a shot anymore. Like after the 5-minute part, they couldn't make any shots, and they could not stop Fournier.
Yeah.
Fournier had 28 points in this game, and I'm like, you ask yourself, okay, who in the heck is Fournier? I mean, I know who Fournier is. I want Fournier for the Spurs, like really badly. But I mean, that guy was hitting everything. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he even
was.
hit the game-tying three in that game, for instance, as well,
Yeah.
to almost take it to overtime as well. But in that game, though, we had Leonard, who led us with 29, also hit the game-winning shot with .9,
Right.
which was amazing to see.
Was that the flattest shot you've ever seen from him?
It wasn't too flat. It just looks weird because he does a little flick of the wrist thing, and it just looks weird. when
And
he
that
lets it
flick of
go.
the wrist.
Yeah, I guess that's the
What the hell was that? That was a flick of the
It's
wrist.
a flick of the wrist. I mean, Aldridge had 21 in this game, so he pretty much dominated as well. Green was only 4 of 11, but he did hit like a couple of threes in the fourth that actually helped them out as well. And then Mills had a fantastic game. Not only
he
was
did.
he great, like his offensively, he had 17 in the game, but he was all over the place as far as like steals. He stole one right in front of right in front of the sideline with them. He had 2 steals, 7 assists in the game, 6 rebounds. He was just everywhere.
And that's the thing, too, is like our bench really didn't do much besides Patty. Boris had 4 points. Kyle Anderson had 2 points. David West had 4 points. But nothing really from anyone else. It really was just all the starters just going into time. I mean, Aldridge, Green, and Leonard just had really good games. And we won, we barely won this game.
Yeah,
what
I
am
do
I
have a
looking
question.
at?
Do you guys think Kyle Anderson is fitting in?
I think he is, but the thing
Yeah.
is that I just don't know if he's a long-term solution.
I
He's
honestly-
not consistent enough shooting-wise. Like, he doesn't shoot very well. I was sort of hoping he would get better shooting-wise. Like, he's got this little turnaround thing going on.
No, he
which
has a
that
great
works for-
turnaround shot.
He can't make threes to save his life.
He looks lost
Yeah.
out there when he's out on the offensive scheme.
It's just because of how slow he plays. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
He actually can pass very well. He's actually a pretty decent defender, but his offense is just sort of like, it's just not there. Yeah,
But that's exactly what I think you
Yeah.
just nailed it. It's how slow he is. But I mean, he does make really good plays. His passing is pretty
his passing
good.
is spot on, man.
Yeah, I mean, if his defense was just a little bit better, I think that. I don't think the Spurs are going to give up on Kyle Anderson. I think he's going to be.
No, they've
the
invested
Spurs
a lot
for
in the
while.
guy.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere. It was good to see Timmy come back.
Yes, he was playing in the game too, and
Yeah, so he
actually
had
did
5
okay.
points. Yeah, 18 minutes, not bad. But again, Timmy doesn't really have to be the focal point of the offense anymore.
7 rebounds in 18 minutes. That's not
That's
bad.
not bad
Not
at all.
bad at all,
Nope.
no.
And like his defense was there too. I mean, he changed some shots. He blocked the hell out of what's his name? I hate that guy. The real short guy. Oh my God! I'm gonna look at his name. Oladipo. God, I have the O in my mind.
I knew who you were saying. I just wanted to see how long it would go.
God, I hate that guy. And he blocked the hell out of that guy.
And then, of course, Tony Parker did not play in this
Nope.
game. But the thing I thought was really funny about it is Tony didn't find out he wasn't playing until he got to the arena.
I'm sure you love that.
Anyways, that's Spurs Talk. We'll be back in a bit.
Howdy, Spurs fans. This is Clay, your correspondent on the street with the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. I'm here at the Stock Show and Rodeos Western Heritage Parade, and I have found a Spurs fan in a cowboy hat. What's your name?
Sylvia Loriano.
Now, Sylvia, you have a Spurs jacket on. You've got a Spurs shirt on. You've got your Spurs. Even your boots have, well, no, they got Spurs on them. Your Coke, Sylvia, your Coke. Oh, her jacket has all the championships on it. Sylvia is a Spurs fan. But Sylvia, the Spurs are going to be going on the rodeo road trip. They're going to be gone for a long time. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm going to miss them, but we do need our rodeo.
You do need your rodeo.
We need our rodeo.
If you had to pick, during the rodeo, there's a clown, there's a bull rider, there's barrel racing. If you had to pick other NBA teams that would be a clown, who would it be?
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
LeBron is a big, giant clown. You're right. Now, there's also, the Cowboys in the rodeo, they compete in bull riding and saddle bronc riding. Which Spur do you think could ride a bull?
Bobo.
You think Bobo could ride the bull?
I can ride the bull.
Well, okay, what Spur do you think could do some calf roping and tie down a calf really quick? What Spur do you think could do that?
Aldridge.
You think Aldridge is going to jump off a horse and tie down? Okay, what Spur do you think could be a good barrel racer? Even though they're girl riders, what good Spur do you think could ride a horse fast enough to do barrels? Patty Mills is pretty fast and he's pretty light.
He's fast.
And they love riding horses in Australia, you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, the next event. What Spur do you think could ride a bucking horse with no saddle and just hang onto a rope?
I say Timmy.
You think Tim could do that? I don't know, he's getting a little old. I would have said...
he's not old.
That's true. I would have said Manu, but he just had his surgery, right?
I know, that's why I said, no, not Manu. It has to be Timmy.
Yeah, Manu can't take the herding to his nether regions right now.
That's true.
Poor guy. Now, the final question. Who, if there was a Spur singing at the stock show and rodeo, they're going to be performer for the night, who would you hope it is?
Parker!
You want to listen to Tony Parker sing? He's French.
That's why I want to hear him sing.
Well, guys, Sylvia's been great. For the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast, this is your correspondent in the street signing off, and I'll see you next time. It's time to rodeo San Antonio, but don't forget, we also have to Go Spurs Go!
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid.
It is All-Star Weekend. So, of course, we got no Spurs games, which we're kind of disappointed about. But it is All-Star Weekend, so you got all the festivities going on, all the celebrities. Rookie game happened tonight. The USA barely pulled it out tonight.
Is that a thing?
That's the thing.
I thought this only happened in golf.
No. So basically what they do now is it's called the Rising Stars game. And what they do is they have Team USA versus the international team. The cool thing about the international team this year was actually coached by Ettore Messina and the Spurs staff. But Team USA was able to pull it out.
Larry Drew.
Yeah, and Zach LaVine was named the MVP of that game. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else is going on right now? I mean, All-Star Weekend has so much stuff going on. You get a lot of cool interviews. Like, Kawhi's been on.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk to
It's
Kawhi,
weird,
which I
right?
think is. I was like, really? You want to talk to a Spur? When does that ever
You
happen?
do know he is a
Never.
Like you're gonna get maybe like 3 words out of the guy. Although they did make an interesting bet with him. Like Shaq told him yesterday, he's like, "Hey, look, I'll pay you $1 million
If you slap
if
Barkley."
you slap Barkley in the face." And I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Well, how it started
Yeah, I
was
wanna know how it
Ernie
started.
Johnson told Kawhi, "Can you put your hand up next to Shaq's?"
Mm-hmm.
So they put their hands together, and Kawhi's hand was pretty much as big as Shaq's, except Kawhi's only 6'7" compared to Shaq. I think he's like 7'1", maybe.
7'1", yeah.
And so that's when Shaq said, Kawhi, I'll give you $1 million if you just take your hand and you go and slap Barkley.
I don't know how that'd be amazing. That would have been so awesome if that had happened.
But they had a really good interview with Kawhi. Just basically, they asked him what I thought was really interesting. They asked him, would you rather score in a game like 50 points, or the person that you're guarding scores absolutely nothing? What would you prefer? And Kawhi's response was, we just want to win the game.
Of course, you would
because
say
he's
that.
a Spur.
Because he's a Spur.
Anybody would say
but
that.
The thing,
No, I wouldn't
no,
say
no, 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 no,
Who would
no.
say that? Say would score the 50 points.
I would say
No,
You didn't
what
score on
NBA?
me.
Well,
what
nobody
more-
cares about you. We're
what
talking
moron
about
in the NBA
I'm
would
with
say
Sean.
that?
right.
Thank you, Frank.
But I think like Carmelo Anthony would say that.
he
I
He
think,
would say he would want to score 50
Oh
points.
hell yes, they would. All these
But-
arrogant bastards would totally say it.
Harden.
Harden would totally
yeah.
say.
Harden would
I'd rather
tattoo
score
it on him.
100.
Not when you're put in the spot like that. I don't think so.
No. I think Harden
I
would
think
say.
at backdoor they would.
Harden would say, "I would score 100 points and I'd keep you to nothing," even though he has the worst defense in the world.
When he plays defense, he's actually reasonably good. But he never plays defense.
No, not even when he tries.
He's
the
back
Randy
to All-Star
Moss
games.
of the NBA.
He's what?
The Randy Moss of the NBA.
There you go.
Known for his defense too.
Just giving up.
Anyways, after Kawhi said that, what I thought was really funny was like Kenny Smith was like, "Yeah, good answer."
Shut up, Kenny Smith.
It just made me laugh.
I like
how he
Kenny.
said
There's
that.
only guy that I like on that show is Ernie Johnson. That's it. I can only stand him. Barkley is such like a flip flopper. I can only stand.
But
so
I
much
think,
of him.
but it's entertaining. That's why you
Barkley's
watch.
great.
Yeah, Barkley's great. I mean, yeah, he trashed San Antonio, but I love that he's going after Phoenix right now. Like he's just talking trash nonstop about
I
poor
mean, guys,
Phoenix.
what are you trying to do over there? I mean, when I go to Phoenix, I
Yeah,
don't think
stop
about
the impression. It doesn't sound like Barkley at all. Let's see. So the
it
USA,
did.
Karl Malone. I got a big truck. Let's see. Team USA won 157. The world had 154. Zach Levine was the MVP. Tomorrow we have the skills challenge and the dunk contest. Let's see, Zach Levine. I'm telling you right now, Zach Levine's going to win that dunk contest again. And then, of course, on Sunday, the granddaddy of them all, the the All-Star game, coached by Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. Of course, we have Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge on there. Interesting thing that I thought was really funny is, so Frank, you kind of started doing it this morning with the hashtags. So I guess the NBA kind of had an agreement with Twitter that if you put hashtag and an All-Star's name, it would give like a little emoji. And so the one for LaMarcus was a L train.
That's
What
the
the
horrible
hell?
name. That's such the worst name.
I think he's
Well,
had
no,
that
he's
name.
had that name
Yeah,
though.
it's
That's
Still a
why.
bad nickname.
And then Kawhi, they did the whole claw thing.
That is actually really cool.
It was
I thought
pretty
that.
cool, but I thought some of them were kind of like.
Well, Kobe has a black mamba.
Well, I mean, he's always been called that. And I'm sure LeBron James is going to be the stupid crown thing.
Well, I laughed because somebody was making fun of him. They did Barkley and they just put like a donut.
It was a donut with the pipe in it.
That's a good one. You know, some of these people who don't have any nicknames, I'm sure they're trying to get really creative. Like,
Well, I thought it was really cool. Like for Paul George,
Al
Paul
Horford.
George, they did a ticket that said PG-13 on it.
That's pretty cool.
that's a pretty
So I
good
was like, that's pretty cool.
Al Horford, for instance.
Yeah, like
What the heck do you put-
Steph Curry, they just did like a little picture of his face with like Alicia Silverstone, like, "Arr,"
The Larry
like that
O'Brien
mouth
trophy.
thing.
That makes no sense. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I didn't get
guys.
that for Steph Curry, but whatever.
What about Klay Thompson?
Splash.
It was a drop of water with an 11 on it. And then Anthony Davis had just a big eyebrow, a unibrow.
Oh, yeah, well, that was easy.
That's the easiest thing.
An M bird.
DeMarcus Cousins had a little ghost with the purple headband.
I can think of a lot of ones.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. Draymond Green, they did an arm flexing with the number 23 on it.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
What else do we have, Ray?
James Harden, they just did an outline of his
A
beard
beard.
and his
Durant?
hair.
What about Durant?
It's just a 35 in the Thunder colors. And then the Clippers was Chris Paul's was a Clippers logo with the number 3 in it.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Just
Russell
see
Westbrook was like his face with the orange glasses.
Who had the dookie with the smile?
The Dookie with the smile.
Wasn't that Barkley?
That would be Poopy. Never mind.
What? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay.
I'm trying
anyways.
to censor myself, please.
So I don't know about you guys, but every time I think of the All-Star game, I kind of think back to when I was younger and
When it came through San Antonio?
Yeah, well, not just that one, but more so when like Jordan played in them, Magic Johnson played them, and I think that's my biggest All-Star memory is Magic Johnson's last All-Star game
When he won MVP.
When he won MVP,
Yeah.
but the thing that I thought was really awesome about that is that he went one-on-one with his good friends from the East.
Which was
So he
cool.
went one-on-one with Isaiah Thomas.
Wasn't Bird still there?
I think Bird was still there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he went one-on-one with, maybe he did. I just don't remember. But then, of course, the big thing was that he went one-on-one with Michael Jordan.
That's awesome.
And, the crowd went absolutely insane for him. And then I think he hit, he was just hitting, three-point shots like
he was
nothing.
going crazy.
Yeah, and I think that was, the 92 All-Star game.
It sounds about right.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
somewhere around
God
there.
damn, that was such a long time ago.
I'm old.
I don't know. Buddy,
That
what
was
was
the
your...
Bronco. The white Bronco was that same year. Wasn't it 92? For some reason, I remember 92 involving Magic and OJ. I don't know why.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyways, buddy, what was your favorite All-Star memory?
Oh man, none of the All-Star games have really, really got me happy. To be honest with you, the only thing I actually only like the festivities, as far as the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. I remember when the dunk contest used to be really good when people like Sean Kemp were in it. For instance, I loved
Yeah.
watching when Sean Kemp was in it.
Dominique Wilkins.
I didn't watch him that. That was
that was
way,
so good.
Dude, 84. I think it was
Yeah, that
84.
was
Spud
84.
Webb versus Dominic Wilkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that because it's a little bit different. But the games, they don't have any defense or anything like that, so it's just
It's just a show off. I mean,
it's cool
it really
for the
is.
first maybe 10 minutes, and after a while, I was like, okay, I've seen enough dunks already.
Do you remember when they would let him go for 2 hours and they would miss 10 in a row? And they're like, oh, wait, when I hit it, it's going to be great. But you're like, you almost hit it 10 times in a row, but you didn't.
You've killed a couple fans with the reflection of the balls.
It has lost a lot of what the All-Star game is. And I think the reason for that is because they've allowed celebrities to just kind of envelop the whole thing.
Yeah.
So now they kind of have the celebrity challenge where celebrities go out there, they let Kevin Hart go out there and
Oh, that
play
celebrity game, you
basketball.
mean?
Yeah. They do that whole thing
Well,
now.
you got Drake involved in it this
He
year.
was the coach
Well,
of
of
it.
course,
He was the
I
coach
mean-
of one of the teams.
Frank,
He really
we're talking
was.
about Drake. He's amazing.
He's drizzy, thank you.
Fantastic.
Anybody seen the uniforms for the All-Star game, by the way?
They don't
Were they
look
just
bad. I mean, I'm
simply
looking-
red?
They're going to
just
have
red
the
and white.
Kias on them, too. It's going to be the first jerseys with any kind of sponsorship on the jersey itself.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not the maker.
Yeah, that's
and
true. I'm
This
just looking at that right now.
Yeah, this might
So-
be the beginning of next year having jerseys.
No, it's not next year.
Yes.
It's 17-18. The NBA will actually start talking about it this summer.
Yeah.
So they're going to allow all corporate sponsors to start putting their logos on there. So soon enough, it's going to be like NASCAR.
How big is that logo going to be?
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
I
like-
want to
it's
know.
gonna be small.
real
I
small.
think it's
No,
going to
no,
be
no, no,
small,
but now,
right
you know,
here.
when you bring up another generation, they're going to accept it. I swear, I tell you that logo.
It's
going to
be like the
huge.
advertisement from the guy from Mystery Men, the one who was the superhero, and he had all of the advertisement around his
Yeah.
superhero suit and stuff. It's gonna be like
I actually think it's probably going to look more like soccer uniforms.
Yeah.
Where it's just basically...
that doesn't look
It's
too
going,
bad.
there's so much money for them not to do it. I mean, I'd rather they just go pure and just keep number.
I mean, God,
and
they
name
got
and that, but-
Adidas and Nike and all over the place. Why would you need any more sponsorship?
Well,
I mean,
that's money.
Well,
You're
because
trying to get so much
I'm
money
sure,
from it.
for the Spurs, I bet you they'll have AT&T, that little globe is going to be on the jersey or whatever, or a chicken finger from Raising Cane's because that's a sponsor too.
chicken.
Sounds good.
Hot chicken, what combo you picking? Let's have some good stuff.
Man, that oh my God, that gets
You know
me.
you're chicken, don't you?
Hell yes,
Wow.
I do.
You didn't get that size without accident.
You what?
I'm sorry. What?
Huh? Anyways, all right, that's All Stars. We'll be back. All right, guys. So what we're going to do right now is kind of talk about all the buzz that kind of just started happening a couple of hours ago. So, of course, Thursday is the trade deadline. So because of that, there's all these crazy rumors kind of going around. So what I kind of want to talk about is the one that I heard this evening. I kind of confirmed with some of my sources. So the big rumor that's going on right now is that there's going to be a mega trade. I should say there are rumors that discussions are going on to make this mega trade that involves the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics. And it also kind of, a bit later, I found out that the Knicks could also be involved with this. So basically what would happen is the Cavs would send Kevin Love to Boston. The Celtics would basically get some players from the Cavs and some picks as well. The Cavs would also send Timothy Mozgov to New York. The Knicks, in turn, would send Carmelo Anthony to Cleveland. There's some other players involved, some picks. Nothing's really finalized because it's just discussions that's going on. But if this happens, this will basically be our blockbuster trade by the trade deadline. What do you guys think about this?
So you're saying that Kevin Love would go over to the Celtics, right?
Yes.
I think that would be great for the Celtics.
That would be fantastic for the Celtics, but what are they giving up? I would bet if they're going to try to get an expiring contract, and I can already see one on this trade machine that they can go for, and it matches almost exactly to what they need. Guess who?
I don't know who.
David Lee.
Yeah. There you go.
They get David Lee his expiring contract of $15 million, and then they can use that for next year if they wanted to.
There you go.
But that means that they're giving up on this year then, right?
I don't think they have what I mean.
Yeah,
maybe
but I
get
mean,
to the
they're
Eastern Conference.
They're the
That's
third
it?
best team in the league right now. We can say that right pretty definitively.
Yeah.
So if you give up Love, who is probably your second best offensive player easily, right? And you give back David Lee, who's nothing like Kevin Love. You're basically saying you're turning it in. Now, if you're getting something else out of this, like let's just say you're getting something from the Knicks per se, and then it starts getting a little bit into what you were saying about Moscow.
And let me kind of clarify that as well. So basically, at the beginning of this week, the discussion between Cleveland and Boston happened. And Boston's really big about getting Kevin Love. Now, remember, before Kevin Love signed with Cleveland, he had already visited Boston because he wanted to go to Boston. But when LeBron James signed with Cleveland, that's
Changed
when
everything.
he completely changed everything, and the Celtics didn't get him. So the Celtics have always liked Kevin Love and have wanted him to be in Boston. Conversation started at the beginning of this week, and then it kind of faded off. But it wasn't until the Knicks kind of came into it that kind of started this whole freaking thing up again. And so now Kevin Love to Boston, the Cavs would send Mozgov to New York with some picks as well, and Carmelo Anthony would go to Cleveland. Now, what happened a little bit after that, so my source kind of dropped this bomb on me, kind of told me everything that was going on. Then the source told me to not count out Pat Riley. So it turns out Miami is also talking with the Knicks to try to see if they could get Carmelo Anthony. Now, buddy, we kind of talked about that a little earlier. So what does the Heat have to do to be able to get Carmelo Anthony? Because it doesn't look like they have the cap room.
Right. So, and in reality, so if you look at the Heat's roster and if you look at New York's roster, right? If we're looking at the total cap right now, Miami is right now $5 million over the luxury tax as it is.
Okay, so it's really high already.
It's pretty high already. They're actually the highest in the league right now.
Right.
The Knicks are actually minus 10 under the luxury cap. So if they needed to do something like this, right, if we go by the beautiful NBA trade machine that we got right here, right, let's say that you send Anthony over to the Heat, right, and then you would need to actually, and he makes $22,875 a year. Oh, Lordy, that's a lot. So you'd have to give up somebody pretty big as far as in order to get him. So a couple of disposable parts that you can probably use. You can probably use Luol Deng, and you can probably use Justice Winslow. That would still they would still need something else in order to make that work, because that we're just talking pure money there, because Deng makes $10 million and Winslow makes just the rookie minimum $2 million right now. You would still probably need picks in order to make that work in reality, because you're still about $10 million off. The Heat are over a luxury tax threshold with this trade, and the incoming aggregate of the salary would be over 125%. Holy crap.
Yep,
They would need to
that's
cut
what
another
happens.
$9 million in order to do that. So it's going to be pretty difficult for them to do it. If they just did Heat and Knicks and that was it, they'd need to get somebody else involved, or they'd have to send some picks, but they don't have any picks.
They don't
at
really
the
have
moment.
any picks, yeah.
They're going to
No, they
need to
don't.
get something else involved in all of that. So
I still say, and I know you disagree with me, I still think Mickey Arison, who's the owner of the Miami Heat, he'll pay that luxury tax.
well, he already is.
Yeah, he's already paying it, so basically he would just continue to pay it. And basically what happens with the luxury tax is they get taxed $1 for every dollar that they're over. So you basically end up paying twice once you go. So if you're like $10 million over, he ends up paying $20 million.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, and this is the thing that you have to ask yourself, right? Why exactly would the Heat get Anthony, right? So Riley's big about wanting to win now.
Right.
He wants to win now. So you say you go in all on Anthony, right? But you give up your only commodity in the whole team, which is going to be Winslow at this point, right? Mm-hmm. But what really are you getting back with Anthony at this point? He's been oft injured.
Yeah, very true, but I still say if you put Carmelo Anthony on the Heat make the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think there's a really good shot they beat the Cavs.
But do we
Now-
all agree that they can even get past that point, though? No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think Cleveland is as good as everybody thinks, and they
No.
look good because they're in a very, very weak contract. Well, I mean, the East isn't as weak as it's been, but there really is no team that can challenge the Cavs. But I think if you put Carmelo on the Heat, they can challenge the Cavs.
But do they even if they beat the Cavs though? I mean, the ultimate goal is to win the NBA championship, and you're
Right.
giving up again. You're giving up the whole future in order to do this, right?
Right.
So the ultimate goal really should be to beat the Warriors.
Okay, so
Can
let me-
they beat the Warriors?
Okay, but let me ask you this, because none of the teams from the East can beat the Warriors.
Right.
Okay, it doesn't matter what they do right now. They're not going to beat the Warriors. Even if Carmelo Anthony is on the Cavs are not going to beat the Warriors. That's how I feel
It
about
depends.
this. No, I do not feel that even Carmelo Anthony with the Cavs, they cannot beat the Warriors. So look at it from this perspective. Is it better to wait and see what happens in the future, and you hope that your team will maybe make a finals and maybe compete for an NBA title? Or is it worth giving it up and getting something now that allows you to get to the NBA finals, even if you're probably not going to beat the defending champions?
If you just care about getting to the finals, then you can do it. But if the ultimate goal is to win, then you should just wait.
But why would you wait if you don't know?
Because, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is that you don't get Anthony. Okay, great. Then you can actually try to get something either through picks or through another type of trade and build up in the future. I mean, if you're waiting, then you're going to wait for something good. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I mean, the Heat are going to have some money this coming summer, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move this summer. But I just kind of feel like Riley would make the move now. And then plus two, if you're Miami, the last thing you want is Melo to be in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, that's true for sure. I mean, they don't want him there at all. I mean, they don't want to compete against them as well.
And then the only other thing I kind of want to add in here as well is the Celtics were supposedly interested in Dwight Howard. My source kind of confirmed with me that there is zero interest from the Celtics. So again, as I said earlier, Houston's probably going to get screwed with Dwight Howard. But the Celtics are supposedly also interested in Danilo Gallinari and Al Horford. So I'm very curious to see what happens with Al Horford. So we'll see. Anyways, that kind of gives us a segue into a new bit.
And now it's time for the trading game.
If we could have applause, we'd have applause.
We'd have applause right now. If we had a studio audience, they would be going nuts right now.
Oh, God. Shirts would be coming off and lighters would be lit. Alrighty, guys. Well, I put together a little list of the Spurs cap room that we have right now. And I went person by person on the Spurs with their salary. And I'm going to give you a list of players that are either making the exact amount or a little bit less. Would you be interested in getting rid of the Spur I bring up for someone else on the list?
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
Alrighty. So the first person we have, I'm going to start from richest to poorest, as almost everything does. We have LaMarcus Aldridge making $19,689,000. Making similar, Mark Gasol, DeAndre Jordan, Kevin Love, Brooke Lopez. Right below him, Blake Griffin, Paul Millsap, and Paul George. Would there be anybody else you would want out of that list versus LaMarcus Aldridge?
Ooh, I see Buddy's mind going. What are you thinking, Buddy?
Well, outside of his broken foot, I would like Marc Gasol. I've always liked Marc Gasol.
I've always liked Marc
I have
Gasol
too.
too.
But, man, now on a broken foot, now he's going to have trouble with that for the rest of his career. Now
Exactly.
Yao Ming.
Yeah,
So-
even his brother said he's not doing well. So kind of
man,
tells you.
That's a rough one.
Thanks, bro. All right, so I guess we're keeping LaMarcus at
We'll
this time.
keep LaMarcus.
Yeah, I'll
That's
keep
fine.
him.
And maybe
But-
Paul
but
George before the leg break, too.
That's true. That's very true.
I don't think I'd take Paul George over LaMarcus. I don't think so.
Man, that'd be
I don't know.
tough.
It's a tough
That's a
decision.
tough
Okay,
one.
next one.
Next one we have is Kawhi Leonard, $16.4 million, making the same. Jimmy Butler, Enes Kanter, Greg Monroe, Wesley Matthews, Kyrie Irving.
No.
No.
None of them.
None of them.
Making a little bit less, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins.
No.
do like Wall.
I love Wall.
No Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say Cousins. I like Wall. But
I do
would-
like Wall.
But I wouldn't give up Kawhi.
Nah,
Not
not the way we have the team now.
But Cousins, like if you put Cousins under Popovich,
if we didn't have Aldridge, then that would be perfect.
yeah. But you know, if you think about who Cousins is right now, I think he's poison.
Yeah, I do too.
I just kind of feel that even if you did bring him under the Spurs, it'd kind of be like a Rodman situation.
But he's not. But I think Popovich could deal with him. I really think that Popovich. It'd be interesting to see him challenge himself with somebody who's difficult. I'd really like to see that ultimately from him. He never really challenges himself with stuff like that. I'd like to see how he could turn somebody like that around.
It'd be interesting. I'll give you that. But we're keeping Kawhi.
Yeah,
keep Kawhi.
Cool.
Keep
Just make
Kawhi.
sure.
Okay, next.
Next up is Tony Parker. Similar.
Who's the first one on the list? I'm just joking.
We have actually Al Jefferson, Joakim Noah, JaVale McGee, Nene, Tyson Chandler, Ty Lawson is in the group, and also Serge Ibaka.
God, those are all pretty bad except Ibaka.
Oh, except for Ibaka.
Man, I can't believe Ty Lawson makes him as much as he.
And I would only take Ibaka if I could get another good guard for a decent price.
Yep.
But I would be very tempted to take Ibaka.
So do we keep?
In this situation,
keeping
probably
Danny?
keep Barker.
Yes.
All right, just making sure. Next up is Danny Green making a sweet 10 mil.
Ugh.
Other people on this list, now
Really?
get ready because I know you guys are going to trade them.
This is really easy.
Zach Randolph, Vera Zhao, Connolly, Rajon Rondo, Jeff Green, Omar Asik.
Conley. I would take Conley like that.
I
Mike
love
Conley.
Conley's always injured though. That's the
I
thing
love
about
Zebo,
him.
man.
And
I would take
Zebo.
Conley.
Zebo's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I would trade. I would want Zach Randolph. I've
We would
always
be-
Okay, so-
man, if we were slow before, we'd be slow with him. Jeez.
Speaking of slow, we have Boris Diaw next, making
excellent.
7.5.
Good timing.
Similar, Paul Gasol, Jose Calderon, Kevin Martin, J.J. Redick, Anthony Davis.
Oh,
Wait, like like New Orleans Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis.
maybe-
Anthony Davis, easy.
right?
Easy.
But you have to keep in mind too,
his
next year
contract's
his
weird.
contract's going to blow up
I'm
next
just
year.
saying this year. it's
But right
looking good.
now, Anthony
Anthony Davis,
Davis,
without
no
a doubt.
question.
Followed by longtime Spur Tim Duncan, making 5.25. Other around there, you have Nick Young, Tony Allen, Jabari Parker, Deion Waiters, D'Angelo Russell.
Jabari Parker.
reiterates
Jabari Parker
in a
right away.
heartbeat.
Yes.
All right.
That kid.
Dude, that guy's gonna be bad. He's
Yep.
gonna be bad.
Yes.
All right, next we got Patty Mills making 3.5. We have Terrence Ross, Matt Barnes, Will Barton, New Orleans Noel, Marcus Smart, and let me see.
Who's Smart's pretty good.
Smart's
Paul Pierce. I'll throw an
No.
No, not Pierce.
Marcus Smart
Marcus Smart probably.
and Barton maybe. Barton's on an upturn.
Andre
So-
Drummond is in that same category too.
Oh wow, Drummond's a really good one.
Yeah, but he's.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he's that great.
Really?
he's
He's a
all-
fantastic. He's a
don't know.
fantastic rebounder. He's a fantastic rebounder.
Wait, who are we talking about again from the Spurs?
we are
we're talking about Patty Mills.
Patty Mills.
Yeah, it just
I get
depends.
excited with
It
the new
depends.
names. I'm sorry.
I know. Speculation just makes us all hot
Yeah.
and bothered.
yeah.
All right. Who else?
Okay. Next,
Anybody?
we're keeping
Okay.
Patty.
We'll keep
All
Patty.
right, next is Manu making 2.8. We have Bismarck Biombo, Sony Wilms, Daryl Arthur. Those are and Barbosa's in there too.
Leandro Barbosa. Leandro Barbosa's pretty young. I didn't even
You know,
realize this.
I do like Barbosa, but I
Ginobili?
think I'd want to pay him less than that.
Yep, and I think you could get away with paying him less.
Yes.
I agree. All right, next we have David West making.
You're not going to get
and
You're not
Crowder.
going to get anybody,
so you
but
could
don't
just skip
even
it. Just
try.
skip it, because
Just
that
skip
was-
David West.
Give me 1 second to just
How
check.
dare you try to bring this up?
Tim Hardaway Jr.'s in there. Okay, let me
That
get
guy
him.
No, yeah, he sucks.
Next we have Boban. Now let me finish.
Boban is love.
1.2.
Boban is life. Boban forever.
He's actually making more than Kyle Anderson, but he's
Yeah.
also making similar amounts to PJ Hairston, CJ Wilcox. I don't know. We're scraping the
Boban it is.
Boban
Next.
it is.
Boban.
All right. Ray McCollum, Rashul Butler, and Matt Bonner are all making the vet minimum. Charlie Villanueva is in there.
Ugh, trash.
Oh, God.
Jason Terry.
I need some hair in my life.
Trash.
Amari Stoudemire.
Trash.
Tyler Hansborough.
Trash.
All right. Hold on. Tayshaun Prince.
It's like the all-star team
That
from
dude,
Waste,
that guy's washed
Waste
up like-
Management.
and, of course, our old Spur, Richard Jefferson.
Trash.
All right.
How much does Richard Jefferson make?
A million?
Vet men.
That's $1 million too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a min too much.
I said $1 million.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's veteran min.
Oh, min.
Min.
Yeah.
That's not
Oh,
like
yeah,
min
yeah.
too much.
All right, and the last guy we have is Jonathan Simmons making $500,000. There is no one here I've ever heard of, so I'm going to say Jonathan
That's what we
Simmons.
get to
Jonathan,
stick with Jonathan
yeah, you keep
Alrighty.
Jonathan Simmons.
Good job.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that,
That
Sean.
All right,
Very
guys.
good.
And once again, that was Let's Make a Trade. Or the trading game, whatever we called it before.
Thanks, Sean. We'll be back in a bit. And we're back. And this week, we're actually going to skip the round table, and we're going to do another episode of On the Fly. I kind of miss On the Fly, so I thought we'd do another one. There we go. Don't go so fast.
Franken beans.
So what we're going to talk about on the fly today is we're going to kind of talk about these awesome trailers that have recently come out for these amazing movies for 2016. I mean, 2016 is just loaded with tons of different movies. So Super Bowl, we saw some new ones. Week right after Super Bowl, we had a new X-Men one. We had a brand new Batman versus Superman one. I mean, just some really awesome trailers. And then, of course, today, Deadpool opened up. And so I know there's a lot of excitement about
Buzz,
Deadpool.
yeah.
And I mean, yeah, so we'll kind of talk about everything. So what trailer do you guys want to talk about first?
Let's talk about. The one I liked the best was X-Men: The Age
Okay.
of Apocalypse.
It was only a teaser, right? The 30
It
seconds.
was just like, yeah, it was a little teaser.
Yeah, but the Psylocke part
Psylocke
where
was
she cuts through
amazing.
the car, I was
Yeah.
like, that's awesome.
That was about the only thing that I really saw in it, and then you saw a little bit more of Apocalypse, which I'm still,
I kind of
still
like,
doubtful about.
Yeah, I do not like Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse, but whatever. But I do kind of like the way that they're adjusting his size just the way Apocalypse does.
Yeah.
Like, he's small, he's big, whatever. And so that part where he's kind of holding Mystique, he looks way bigger than her. And I was like, oh, that's pretty badass right there. But that whole Psylocke thing,
That was
like the
such a
money
great
shot
scene.
right there.
That was
Like when I saw it, I was like, I can go to bed.
I have to say,
Very quickly, mind
It seems
you.
like the whole world, it looked like it's exploding. There was like missiles shooting up.
Yeah.
and there was like rubble everywhere or something.
Yeah, I didn't really care much about that, but Olivia Munn in that little outfit there, kind of busting out of it with
Marron.
with the lightsaber. Hell yeah, I'm in.
Now he's up on the film. He hated this film up until that
I
shot.
still do, but Olivia Munn, I'm in for that. Okay, so we had the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. Then we had the brand new ID4, which I thought, I don't know if you guys felt this way, but okay, when Super Bowl was happening and this thing came out, it looked like a cheesy NBC Sunday night movie. And then it was like ID4, like the whole intro with the jets flying over the Super Bowl stadium and then the little planes
Yeah.
coming like, pew, 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 whatever. But the titles that were coming up on the screen looked like it was an NBC Sunday night musical or something. I don't know. I just thought it looked
Yeah.
really crappy. And then it kind of kicked into high gear and it was like, oh my God, what goes up must come down.
Yeah,
And
that-
like,
I have to say that was just really bad.
but I can't figure out what's going on.
I don't-
like what's falling down. Is it like an alien ship?
Their
ship
battleship,
is sucking,
I
the
think.
ship is sucking the ground up, and then it's just dropping it.
Okay, that's what I was thinking it was.
No, that's what it's doing.
But you know the way that they kind of cut it, and it kind of looks like you see that shot of like the new mothership
Yeah.
coming into the Earth,
The
and
Super
then, like,
Star
crashing-
Destroyer.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's coming in and
Star
crashing
Killer.
in, but then you kind of saw other stuff falling. So it's like, are they just like purposely crashing their ship in, or what?
I just sort of think it's going to be overkill.
I don't think it's
Oh,
gonna be
it's
good.
absolutely going to be overkill. I mean, even the first movie wasn't too good, but I loved every bit of it too. And I'm
There was
assuming
something
this
about
movie's
it
going to
that
be the
was just-
same.
I don't think it's going to be as good as the first one. In fact, I don't think it's going to be
First
that
one
good
wasn't
at all.
good.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be good at all.
I think it's going to be this year's Tomorrowland.
So Buddy's gonna love it.
Here we go. So then I will go see it.
Buddy won't see it though because George Clooney is not in it.
That's
Oh,
fair.
when does it come out? July 4th?
July 4th, of course.
Okay.
Come on, Frank. What kind of
I want a
question is that?
verification
American
of
are
that.
you?
I'm not from America. Sorry.
Oh,
Not these United States.
Nazis, United
I
States.
know the right person gets elected. I'm out of here, guys.
Hey-o. Let's see what else. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That actually was good.
yes, actually,
That was actually really cool.
I love the way everybody was like, "Ooh!"
no, because it was like when I saw the first trailer was like, I'm doubtful. That was
No,
really-
no.
And then
hell
the
no.
second-
I was in with that first trailer when they showed Bebop and
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, and they
showed Kang, and Kang was
in.
actually cool.
I know.
I missed Kang part. Totally
What?
missed it. Because I was doing your podcast.
But it wasn't that. That's not an excuse.
Get the Google.
But it wasn't just
But I
Kang.
did miss it. I did see it, but I missed the Kang part.
It was
that's
good.
all.
Okay, because it's not just Kang; it's the freaking robot
body and
guy look.
everything.
It's the
It
bot.
was
Like as soon as you
everything.
saw that head, it was like,
I was like, oh
that's
my God, it's
freaking
him.
Kang.
It was
See,
like
because
it was
the
like they
first
put
one-
Kang
They're
inside
even-
Master Blaster.
Yes,
That's who it
yes.
is.
That's what it is, Master
That's
Blaster.
exactly
Oh.
what it is.
What was the name of the other guy too? The fly guy. He's in it too. Stockman.
Baxter
Baxter
Stockman. And it's
He's
played
in there,
by
too.
what's his name?
Rick Edelman.
No. No, what's his name? Tyler Perry. That's who it's played by.
kidding.
It's
course
Tyler
it is.
Perry.
Wow.
Oh, wow,
He's
that's-
in everything.
He's no, he makes everything.
makes
Oh,
everything.
He's not bad. I actually kind of like him.
I didn't say it was
And then
bad.
Green Arrow is
Casey Jones.
which is going to be kind of funny.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. But what's her name?
Megan Fox.
Doesn't she look like
April O'Neil.
hotter than ever?
Yeah. When has she
It's
not been
like-
hot?
I've never cared for Megan Fox.
I
but
don't
mean,
know.
Not to say I disagree.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying-
There's a reason why they don't show her hands.
What? They're hairy.
Oh no, I've heard.
No,
oh,
have you
her
ever
hands
seen her
look- they're-
thumbs?
they're-
They look
yeah.
like toes.
Yeah, they do. They do.
No, I kid you not.
Only
look
Frank
look
would
it
look
up.
at her
No,
hands.
this is actually a common
this,
thing.
This is not.
This is
I mean,
not-
look
he's
up
right.
look up Megan Fox thumbs, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't think it's going to
like-
send me the webpage I'm expecting.
I know,
I'm not
exactly.
doing it.
You've got it bookmarked, Sean.
Sean, go book a flight at PennIsland.com.
I'd rather not. I heard it's all inclusive for those of you that are looking for a $500 vacation.
Okay,
No.
We're gonna
let's
get
see
so
what
many
else.
So
There was a
let's
brand
do-
new. Hold on. There was a brand new Captain America trailer as well.
That was actually good.
teaser.
So,
What?
because here's my issue is that if you're gonna do a new trailer, show some new footage, which was one of my things with the Batman Superman trailer too, because it was a lot of stuff that we had already seen.
Yeah.
With a couple of new stuff kind of sprinkled in
usually
there.
what they
The whole
do.
movie at your point.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the biggest problem, and I've told you this before, Frank, is my issue is that a lot of these movies, when they come out, they drop like 17 different trailers.
Yeah.
So they end up showing you everything. But at least I think what the smart thing that WB has done is this is only the 5th trailer for Batman versus Superman. They're not doing this crazy thing that Marvel did with Avengers 2. There was like 32 trailers that they put out, and they basically showed you the entire damn movie. But yeah, so the Captain America trailer, the only thing that I kind of liked, which you knew was going to end up happening, is where they had the lineup of both teams, Team Captain America,
Right.
Team Iron Man. Like you knew that was going to happen, but that was still pretty cool to kind of see together.
Yeah, seeing Black Panther on there, I was like, oh, look at him.
Well, they showed him in the other trailer too.
Yeah,
yeah.
But what's a couple things I was surprised about. Like I didn't think that Vision and Black Widow were going to be on Iron Man's side. I was sort of shocked about that for some reason.
There's I can explain that to you, but I don't want to say this on here. Yeah,
Don't you
yes.
kill me like that.
But what I did think was really funny is if you notice the teams, it's 5 versus 6. So basically,
One
what
of
the
them's
break?
Ant-Man?
Hold on. Okay. The breakdown is Captain America versus Iron Man.
Right.
Then it's a Scarlet Witch
Johansson?
versus Ant-Man.
No,
and
wait,
then-
Scarlet Witch and Man on the same team.
Not Scarlet Witch. I'm sorry.
You mean Black
Scarlett
Widow?
Johansson. Yes. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. So Black Widow versus Ant-Man, then
That's
Scarlet
interesting.
Witch versus Vision, then Black Panther versus Winter Soldier. Okay, and then Falcon versus
War Machine?
War Machine. Okay, so then that leaves Hawkeye.
He's going to be hiding
He's just
somewhere
there.
like you.
So I just imagine the whole
Someone's not
movie he's
gonna
going to
make
be
the
like with
movie.
his bow drawn, just kind of pointing at everyone because he has no one to fight.
Clint Barnes is going to have some wicked guns by this.
But I'm telling you, watch the trailer. He's the odd man out. Even in all the promotional stuff and the artwork, it shows everyone else fighting somebody except for Hawkeye. He's just kind of there with his bow and arrow.
Well, him and Black Widow. I mean, I thought throughout the whole series they've just been like throwaway. I mean, it's almost
They
like you're
are.
made for-
They don't use them for anything.
Well, they did play a pretty big role in Ultron. I mean, I thought
But
he
you can
did.
get rid
But
of him in
that
the
was
movie
like
except
a
for the
last minute
yeah.
throw in, like, oh, let's use him a little bit more. That really was like
They
a
didn't
last
use
minute.
them.
It sounds like it was
it was
tacked
more
on.
in the first one that they didn't use them at all. I thought in the second one they used them a lot more.
Well, because it just seems tacked on. Like it's just like, hey, we need to write a story. Hey, why don't we have everybody meet
That's
here? By the way,
exactly
spoiler
what
alert.
it is. That's
Well,
that's exactly
but that's
what
the
it
thing,
is.
Though. It's just too many characters. That's what worries me about these movies is that you're bringing in all these characters and
it's
you want to
beyond
throw them
that.
into one movie and you expect to have some good story.
But
behind all of them.
remember, the whole point of Captain America wasn't supposed to be Civil War. It wasn't Civil War. It didn't become Civil War until Warner Brothers said, you know what? We're going to up you one. We're going to put Batman versus Superman on the same day as Captain America. That's when Marvel said,
That's gonna be
oh crap,
fantastic, yeah.
oh crap. We need to make this, we're going to up it. So now instead of doing Iron Man 4, we're going to have Robert Downey Jr. do Captain America, and we're going to make this Civil War, even though it doesn't follow the Civil War storyline. Well,
well,
to
sort
a
of
point.
does. It
To a
sort of does.
point, yeah. So anyways, okay. And then, what would you...
Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman.
I
one
thought,
rate.
and I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly thought I was watching a British Airways commercial when I was watching it.
Okay. So let's talk about.
I was
let's
like- I was
talk
like,
about what you're
That's
talking about.
strangely specific.
No.
because
But he's right. Hold on.
it's-
Okay. So what Sean's talking about is the 2 Super Bowl commercials that came out that featured Gotham City and Metropolis. But later this week, Warner Bros. Actually released the final trailer for Batman versus Superman. So there were 3 different trailers that they released.
Yeah.
And the 2 airline commercials weren't even really a trailer. It was just basically a glimpse of what the universe is where Batman and Superman exist.
Oh.
And those two trailers were pretty freaking epic because you saw the world building that they've done of what Gotham City looks like and what Metropolis looks like. And then you also got to hear Lex Luthor, you got to hear Bruce Wayne. And I was like, man, they really nailed those commercials. What did you think, Sean?
That was my least
Monkey Baby.
No, Independence Day. Independence Day 2 was my least impressed one I saw, and I was gonna say Batman, Superman. The ones I saw that I wasn't impressed.
Well, that's funny because I absolutely loved both of those commercials, but I loved them because there were so many Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you picked up on every single Easter egg that was there.
I'll tell you. Okay, I don't want to. I got one more after this, so go.
Yeah. No, go then.
Okay.
Continue.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
I wish. I'm glad you brought this up.
I was so stoked after the first trailer, but then they released the second one and they released a little bit more of the plot, and I almost don't want to see it now.
Why?
What I would say is like just ignore all the trailers from here on out, because with that one, I'm afraid they're going to reveal too much.
And I think so too, but
because it looks
that
in the
first
same
trailer looks
world,
so
I believe,
good.
but it's not.
Yeah,
a
it's not. It's not.
It's
It
during the
doesn't
same
follow
time.
the storyline, but it's in the same world. And I don't even think it's the same timeline. I think it's
Or
later.
They could be just screwing with us.
But exactly,
Yeah.
it totally is.
And I
We
think
really
that's
don't know anything
I
about
really
it.
think that's what they're doing. I
Yeah.
think they're just screwing with people is what they do. Because, I mean, that's a J.J. Abrams thing. So what can I say?
I am excited. I probably will still see it, but I was
We'll
just
see
like,
it.
yeah, I'll buy your ticket,
thank you, Frank.
and I'll be later, Sean.
I can't believe I didn't see these. I'm looking right now at.
What do you mean you didn't see these?
I saw. I was thinking about the final trailer for.
Okay, well, let's talk about the
I'm sorry,
final
I didn't
trailer.
mean to change the subject here, but I didn't see the fly.
You got to see them. They're really good, and let's see if you can pick up all the Easter eggs that are in there.
I'm
Because
wondering
there's
why
some really good ones.
Turkish Airlines of all.
We'll
of
look
them.
at
That's a
it
really strange
afterwards.
one.
No, but
And
what
then,
you call it?
Well, Jungle Book was on
That
there.
actually looked pretty good.
It looked good.
Yeah.
I have to say.
It looked good until I heard Bill Murray as Baloo, and I was like, I'm out.
It's been done.
Hey, how about we
Yeah,
join the army?
It's been done so many times. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
please,
like,
I'm not completely sure if that's going to pull that off.
And then I couldn't remember the whole story. Does King Louis actually go after Mowgli? Like, does he
he
try
wants
to attack?
him for man's fire, is what it is.
yes.
That's
I
his
couldn't
whole-
remember. I was just like, why is the monkey chasing him? I don't get it.
Orangutan.
Yeah,
because he's a monkey.
he's a
No,
monkey.
monkeys have
Okay.
tails.
So what
Yeah,
were we saying
that
about the
too.
Superman thing? Okay. That's enough
Okay,
of that one.
anyways, well, I mean, it was a good point to bring up Jungle Book
Yeah.
because that was kind of a cool trailer until they started talking, and I was out. Anyways,
So they actually said something.
until they actually said that, I was like, no, I'm out.
That's what they
Anyways,
said about Animal Farm.
okay, Batman versus Superman, final trailer.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Buddy, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, that was just amazing. I was like, okay, this is perfect. And I was hoping to see a little bit more. And I understand what you guys are saying about talking about like putting too much of what's happening in there, but I wanted to see more of what Batman really, really did. So that first scene where you see him beat the crap out of all of those guys, and it wasn't like something like way over the top. I mean, he just really just karate them to death. He didn't do anything like crazy, like pulled the little gun out, pulled them into him, beat the crap. No, it was just straight up karate stuff. He just beat the crap out of them.
Yeah,
and I thought it was pretty, like, if you're going to look at a guy in a bat suit and he can kick ass, that's what you would think he would do.
Ben Affleck will become the best Batman that you've seen on film, period.
Frank, get that on tape.
That's on tape.
He will be. After
I
you
have
see
to.
this,
I have to agree with you.
After you
as
see
much
this-
as I'm fighting this,
I know you will.
he
Yeah,
does. He looks the part. He does.
But I mean, the fighting, the style, the choreography of the fights, everything. It's like you were playing freaking Arkham Knight or
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum, and all the doubters, everybody that said like I hate this casting, whatever. If you see him in that suit as Bruce Wayne, that is freaking Bruce Wayne.
You know, and I don't hate Affleck. I think Affleck is a fantastic
Yeah,
actor.
and you see him in the bat suit.
he looks
That's
the guy.
That's Batman. He makes Bale look like crap. He makes Kilmer look like crap. Clooney, all of them.
Clooney.
Exactly. Probably the worst one. But I actually think that he's going to go down as being the best Batman you've ever seen in that suit.
And it's
after
so
this
funny. It's like
movie comes out.
everybody's just talking about him, but nobody's talking about the Superman.
because Superman
because
can't
they don't-
carry
well,
a
they already
film
saw
by
him,
himself.
too.
Well,
Then
you already saw him. You already know what he's doing in this universe. The focus is going to be on Batman. It really is. But I think what you're going to be surprised at the storyline when you actually watch the film is that it really is a Superman movie. It's not just a. It's very well balanced, is what I'm going to say.
And no one's talking about Wonder Woman. which I thought. I think
Oh my god!
Sheila's gonna play the part fantastically.
When she
I think.
freaking jumped and yelled into that
Yep.
flame, I was like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's probably exactly what you were thinking.
yeah, exactly."
I was really hoping they were going to cast that chick from Entourage to play Wonder Woman. It didn't happen, but I like this one too.
What chick?
It was it Enrique Kikiki or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, that's a nice.
That's a nice akiki.
They had to get the one from Fast and Furious. What can I say?
Yeah, that's
still
good.
good.
I'm stoked for it, and we got less than 30 days. No, wait, what's today?
25th. It comes out next month.
Yes, we got a little more than
seeing this
30
together?
days. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Remember, we're having the greatest day ever. We're going to see Batman vs Superman in the morning, and then we're having No, you're taking a day off, Frank.
No, wait.
You're taking a day off.
It's
It's a Friday. It's Good Friday.
Friday.
That's why it's a Good Friday, because Batman
blessed
vs
Friday.
Superman comes out.
Okay.
So we're taking a day off. None of us are going to work. You're not working on the podcast that day, Frank. And
Oh, thank you.
And we're gonna go
We'll be
see.
off the air by then.
We're gonna go see Batman vs Superman, and then we're gonna go to Top Golf right after, and we're gonna drink Dos Equis at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's gonna be amazing.
Celebrate good
It's gonna
times.
be
Come
the
on.
greatest day ever. And if you're good, Sean, you can come too.
I got work.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of podcast number 25. I'd like to thank the crew in studio with me, Frank, Buddy, and Sean. We'll be back next week with podcast number 26. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Our podcast, you can hear us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, listen, and share it. Appreciate everything, guys. And as always, go Spurs, go.
Frank said, I'm entering 2 models. And Ray goes, get ready for those second and third place prizes. And he got second and third place.
Ray,
Okay,
are
clap.
you being